The book opens strongly. Leviathan is not just a myth, but a real creature described in the Bible, associated with chaos and primal fear. It is developed quite attractively, with many vivid images. Biblical origin. The book refers to Genesis, the sea and the abyss as symbols of chaos. Psalm 104. Leviathan was created by God himself to play in the sea. The book of Job. Leviathan is a testament to God's power, which humans cannot control. This section is in-depth, with many references, but lacks scholarly comparison analysis. For example, comparing Leviathan with the Canaanite and Ugaritic cultures would have been beneficial. Theological symbolism. Leviathan represents the limits of human beings. Where reason is powerless, only faith in the Creator remains. The idea is quite profound, but it is repeated at length, not summarized into a clear thesis. In the prophetic books, Psalm 74, Leviathan had many heads crushed by God, a symbol of God's victory. Isaiah 27, Leviathan, the serpent, will be destroyed by God on the last day. Well developed, but still lacking connection with the Jewish apocalyptic context. Comparison with ancient myths, relating Leviathan to Tiamat, Babylon, Yam, Canaan, Jormungandr, Nordic, etc. Highlight, unlike other myths, in the Bible, Leviathan is not a god, but only a creature under God's authority. This is a good extension, but only briefly mentioned, lacking in depth, for example, the connection with Rahab in the Bible. Leviathan as a symbol of system, power, quoting Hobbes, 1651, Leviathan as an image of the absolute state. Relate Leviathan to empires, totalitarian governments, even modern systems. The idea is very creative, but it is developed a bit too quickly, lacking specific historical evidence. Leviathan in the end times, relating to the sea beast in Revelation. The image of Leviathan as the final power of chaos will be defeated when Christ returns. Emphasized, but can add how the Church Fathers or Jewish tradition understood Leviathan. Inner, spiritual dimension. Leviathan is not only the monster outside, but also the voice of chaos in the human mind. Arrogance, lies, division. Good idea, evoking psychological and spiritual depth, but only at the visual level, lacking reality, for example, illustrating life, witnessing. Conclusion. Leviathan, no matter how terrible, is just a tool to glorify God's power. In the end, only Jesus can conquer chaos. Good emotional ending, but CTA, call to action, is a bit long-winded. I suggest the following improvements. 1. Add a brief introduction to the topic, explaining the significance of Leviathan in religious and mythological contexts. 2. Expand the analysis by including more scholarly sources that discuss Leviathan in the context of ancient Near Eastern mythology. 3. Develop the theological symbolism of Leviathan more fully, exploring its meaning as a symbol of humanity's limitations and dependence on divine faith. 4. Strengthen the connection between Leviathan and other ancient myths by providing more in-depth comparisons and exploring common themes and motifs. 5. Develop the idea of Leviathan as a symbol of political and social systems more fully, providing more historical and literary evidence to support this interpretation. 6. Explore the understanding of Leviathan in the book of Revelation and how it relates to the return of Christ and the final battle between good and evil. 7. Develop the inner spiritual dimension of Leviathan, exploring how it can represent the forces of chaos and evil that reside within the human psyche. 8. Conclude by summarizing the main points and emphasizing the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Shorten the call to action and make it more concise. 9. Proofread the text for grammar and spelling errors and ensure that the formatting is consistent throughout. 10. Consider adding images or illustrations to enhance the visual appeal of the book. Overall, the book has a strong start and an interesting exploration of the Leviathan, but it needs more development and refinement to reach its full potential. By addressing these suggestions, you can create a more comprehensive, engaging, and thought-provoking analysis of this fascinating subject.